Yesterday we talked about the life cycle of a plant and what it needs to grow strong and healthy. Do you remember the 4 parts of the life cycle that we talked about? See if you can remember any of them. First, it's a seed, and you plant that seed, right? Then the seed sprouts roots and a stem. Do you see those roots at the bottom growing down and the stem is growing up? And then after that, the plant grows up from the ground. And it's pretty small at the beginning, isn't it? And then the plant grows a flower or the fruit or vegetables or whatever that it's going to grow. But usually there's a little blossom on there first before the fruit or vegetable grows. So that was the life cycle of the plant, right? Who remembers what types of things that you need for a plant to grow? Remember we had this sheet? They don't need hamburgers like we do, right? We need food like that. They need sun because the leaves love to soak up all the sun, helps them grow. They need water, that's their food. They need soil, that's like their home for their seeds and their plants to grow. And air, because they have to have air to breathe too, just like we do. Did you know that when a plant grows and it grows its roots, when it sprouts its roots right down here, that helps, it grows down and that helps the plant to stand up strong when it comes up above the ground. So the roots take in water and nutrients and feeds the plant, and it also helps it be strong so that it doesn't tip over. Pretty cool, huh? So we talked about planting seeds, right? And then, do you know what's something else we need to do to keep our plants healthy so that they can grow as big as possible? Plants need space, so you can't plant things really, really close to each other. If you do, then there's not enough room for it to grow. So you gotta always make sure that you space them out. Well, sometimes in those spaces between each plant, guess what happens? A weed might grow in there. So weeds, the seeds of weeds get blown around and they might land right in those spaces where there aren't plants and they try to grow. And when plants are in there and the weeds are in there, they're not giving the plants enough room to grow, and the weeds are taking the nutrients for the plants. So when you have a garden, you oftentimes get outside and you pull those weeds that you do not want to be there by your plants. They just appear like crazy. So it's a big chore to keep your garden weeded. And then what do you do with all of those things that you grow in your garden? You know what it is called once you take them out of the garden? It's called harvesting. Harvesting means that you're picking the food out of the garden or the field. You're taking it out. It is done growing. It's the size that you want it to be. So here you can see this little girl has a whole bunch of carrots. And remember how I talked about carrots? The orange part of the carrot stays under the ground and the roots grow out of that. And then all that comes out of the ground is the stalk, this green. So when you're looking for carrots in a garden, you don't see the orange part of them. You see the big green tall stuff. And so you just pull it out. It's pretty cool. Potatoes are like that too. Potatoes are in the ground, and actually I don't think anything grows above them. I'm not sure though, I should look that up. But then you have to dig up the potatoes because they grow inside the ground. Not everything grows above the ground. But anyways, you harvest it. And what do you do after you harvest fruits and vegetables? So if you're at home, you might just take it at home, get into your home and eat it for dinner, right? You might. Or if you are a farmer or someone with a really big garden, you might take it to a farmer's market and sell it to other people who don't have gardens. Pretty cool. And there's farmer markets in many cities on certain days. We did have one down in Albertville. Um, we'll see when they can start selling again after all of these germs go away. So farmers are very, very important because they get out our food to us, the fruits and vegetables that they grow, the wheat that they grow to make flour, and they help us out by having all those for us because it's a lot of work to grow things. You have to water them, you have to weed them, and then you have to harvest them. So it takes a lot of work.